Bella ciao, and welcome to another video. And it's your boy Asu. And after getting a lot of DMs like this from fellow copywriters and marketers, finally I'm gonna answer all these questions in this video with Money Heist Method. It might sound a little gimmick because of the web series trend, but it is coming from my last 2 years of my copywriting and marketing experience after sending like 1,000+ DMs, getting a lot of no's, getting a lot of yes, also knocking some doors in recent days. And I have made around like $2,000 in online from this copywriting and marketing skills alone in the last 6 months. So I am eligible to make this video because I do have experience. I do face the real world situation, what's going on and what's not. So without wasting any time, let's get into the money heist method. But before I get into it, I just want to say one thing. If you don't have the patience of like 10-15 minutes to watch this video, which will be little theoretical and analytical, then I would just suggest you fuck off the video, turn off the video. Because if you are really want to do the business, if you really got the boss, if you are really available to put the effort, then you will watch this video. And if you are expecting some kind of a very high level of sauce which will get you client while you are bathroom doing sit, or you are in your bed, you are scrolling, again turn off the video. But if you are the one who want to know what is exactly working in the outer space right now, how to do it, and how exactly we know to do it to get the better result. So without wasting any time, let's get into the context of the video. So the video will look like something this. In the first part, we will talk about the types of outreach, and in the second, the industry success rate per every 1,000 outreach you do will comes to the type. Like there's, if you're doing cold calls, how many chances of getting the success rate in the 100,000 cold calls? That's how. And third, the different stages of outreach. For the final boss, money heist method. Then how to actually make money from it. So let's get into the first part, the types of outreach, the 7 types. First is the cold emails and DMs. But if you're the beginner who don't know what is cold, so let me say you don't know the client before and client don't know you. That's the cold approach. And the warm is you know the client, but your client don't know you, but your client will know you through any kind of referral or through any contact. And the hot is you know each other. The hot email, you can say the hot lead and the hot outreach. So the cold calls. Here the involvement in the call, you have to do the hello, I'm Mr. Jordan Belfort. Whereas it's so expensive, and it's good to do if you do have money. You can spend a lot of money to get the right people, to get the qualified leads. And they all have their different success rates. I will talk about it in the second part. So the inbound leads. If the inbound list is you make organic content. Okay, here we have the paid version, but we have organic content, and here the conversion rate is around like 60 to 70%. I would say in the success rate more. You do make organic content, whatever you sell and whatever the industry you are in, it will get you the people. The fifth, the referrals. It's too powerful. If you are currently working with any client and your client liked your work, he will refer to other businesses and the contact he has. You can just say, hey, just suggest you or some of your friends if they want to help in marketing or any service you're doing. Then that's the referral. Door to door. It needs the ball. It needs the courage to go to the face of the client and say, hey, your business is great, your everything is great, and I can do something for you which need to be being better. Like recently I just visited, like in my life personally, I had do like 5 door to door, and the close rate is around like 60%. If you more want to know what are these clients, I will just suggest you after watching the whole video, I will as the link the 60% close rate as a door to door. You can go and watch the video afterwards. And the warm outreach. It is, as I said here in some part, you know the client through your contact, or you have a do list of 100 of contacts in your phone number or your dad's phone number or your mom's phone number. You just do the calls and say, hey, I'm mom's son, or you can say my mother is this, I'm his son, you do have business, can I help you on this? That's a warm outreach. That's a warm outreach, and it's the one of the best. So let's talk about the second part, the success rates. For the cold DMs, if you are from US or Europe, and I'm getting all this data from the cloud research, and you can say, is it wrong or right? Because it scrolls throughout all the internet for a 30 minutes to get the huge report, to get this all info. So it can't be wrong. It's a proven data through the Every article is in the internet and it's here right now. So if you're targeting people from the US and Europe, you're cold DMing them, then the RR is for the reply. Okay, just remember what is the RR for. It's for the reply, O for the open rate, and C for the conversion rate. So only the cold DMs are the 1.1 to 3% of reply rate. It's too terrible. And in if you're doing it from India or Nigeria, I smile because I travel a lot. 0.5 to 1% of reply rate. So terrible. And if you're doing 1,000 DMs, you're getting 20 to 30 reply. And just imagine how much calls you can have to. I think you can do 1 2 call. If you're lucky, you can close one client. And there is a one benefit of having the cold DMs. If you have the money, do the automation and hire someone who can personalize that automation for every people. So you can do that, or hire a lot of 3 4 5 4 DMs guys can do. If you do leverage with it, with more people, with more DMs every single day, then you're going to close clients. If you're doing all alone, it's dead. Guarantee you it's dead. Don't need to do that. You have to go to further step. So the cold emails, here the dynamic changes a little. 5 to 10% of open rate if you're sending to US or Europe. India and Nigeria, 3 to 5% of open rate. And reply rate, again 1 to 2%, 0.5 to 1% reply rate. Conversion, you can say like again the 1,000, out of 1,000, maybe you could close one. Cold calls, the number will increase. US and Europe, 2.5 of conversion rate. Okay, they're converting that client to do meeting. In Nigeria, 1.3% close rate. So if you do 1,000 calls, 20 to 50 meetings for sure. And out of these 20 to 50 meetings, how good you are in the closing, it will decide. Because if you do 1,000 calls, you can't do, if you are doing like 100 calls a day, or if you have team of people like 5 people doing 500 calls a day, just imagine. Let, let take it minimum like 200 calls a day. One is doing something, founder and co-founder, and you're doing 5 calls a day, 5 calls, 1,000 calls a week, Saturday and Sunday to holiday, take it as a holiday. So you're doing 20 to 50 meetings, and I'm fucking sure out of this, you will close like at least 2 to 3 clients. If you are good enough with your results and the back end and everything, it can be possible. So just go for where the success rate is high. Why just fucking around there if you're the single guy? It still did work. It still did work if you have the good, but go with the data. That's what I want to say. So the next, the paid ads, and it depends on your budget. If you're spending like $1,000, you will get 10 to 100 leads. It also varies, but the low quality leads. Most of the people who show up in the call and you converted, most of them are broke. Mostly because whatever the people I have talked with and the people I saw, they're getting a sick quality of leads, especially from the Facebook. So yeah, it's kind of terrible. You should go with it. If you have budgets, you can still get clients. So it depends on your budget. Then the inbound and organic leads, organic outreach, 20 to 50% of conversion rate. But you need the audience first. If you have some kind of audience, it's better. 6 to 12 months to build. It's good for long term. That's what I'm also doing. I do create content for my Instagram, for the business, all that stuff. So I'm getting a lot of visibility, attention. I'm getting a lot of business minded people. So whatever I sell in the future related to business or personal branding, it will be helpful for me to convert these people. And it will be so easy to convert because they trust me, they know me for a while, and everything gonna be in the good way. The referrals, highest conversion rate ever because your client knows you, you walk with him, and you show up, and he refers to their other businesses. These are the best quality kind of leads. But you need happy clients first. You have to make your that first client happy, then he can refer to others. So because you did the job well for that first client. And the door to door, my personal favorite. I love to do it because it requires balls, and I got the balls. You should also have the balls because no one is doing door to door, and it is the highest quality of lead. I said the best quality and the highest quality difference. And you have to do little research when you're going to any shop, and 10 to 30% of conversion rate. Like you're talking, it's like a meeting. You can say 100% of conversion rate meeting, but first you need a permission. You need And recently, and out of all these things I have mentioned, the 7 8 things, if you will, where there's a less chance of success, you have to do it in the volume. Where there's a higher chance of success, you need more effort, more confidence, because cold call need a lot of time, door to door need a lot of time and effort, but the chance of success get higher. So I think, and what I saw and what I feel, where there's a success rate, chance of success rate is high, I can get close the client first, fast, and can start doing the work and get the experience. I will go for that. So right now, guys, my approach is simple: the cold call and the door to door. And it depends on you how you want to do. If you're a shy guy, or if you're an introvert, or if you just want to do it online, do it in the volume. If you're doing cold emails and the cold DMs, but if you are doing this door to door, then the cold calls and the inbound thing. You're gonna stand out, you're gonna close a lot of clients, you will have a fucking good team to manage all this stuff. Let's just do it. So there's totally 15 stages of outreach in my experience. So first you have to do the market research. Whatever the niche you are targeting, the group of people, you have to know about that market first, whom you are targeting. If you know that market well, the emotion of the market, how the emotion and everything goes, then you can target that market properly, like who you are targeting, what problems they have, what do they want. If you know that all, then it's good. Then prospecting, I will say them ICP. ICP. So how's your ideal client look like? What's his age? Where he is from? And how much money he is making? What industry he is in? If you want to, if you know your ICP well, then you can get the right client for your job and for whatever the service you want to provide. And the third, the qualified list. You will prospect your ICP, you get some group of people, like 100 of people of, hmm, then do well research so you can qualify them. Because if they are, like, if there is a huge market, like a thousands of people, and out of these thousands of people, you just get your ICP. You get your ICP, and these, like, you put your ICP, and out of this 1,000 people, you get your 100 people, which are the qualified leads, which is very good to reach out to them because it's fulfilling your ICP criteria. Then the fourth, do outreach. And as I said, there's a lot of way to do outreach. And especially I will talk about the cold emails and the cold DMs, because majority of the people and beginners are doing it. So it will be more the stages, especially related to the cold emails. And if you want to know the cold calls, if you want to know about door to door, I will just suggest you just comment in the video, because I already did some cold calls, and I'm doing door to door and I'm getting a lot of good results. So you can just say it in the comment. I will just make a video on the that specific outreach topic. Like, right now, I'm going to talk about the cold emails. So you did outreach, prospects seen you, but didn't reply you. So that's the one of the psychological affairs. So you have to do follow-ups. If they did saw, didn't reply anything, at least do 2 to 3 follow-ups with the gap of 2 3 days. Make sure which timing you are doing, when they are waking up or when they are going to bed, when they are mostly active in the phone. So just make it in the mind. Then the next stage is prospect replied to you. So he might so interested, and he replied to you. So what you did next? You have to have the convo and have to get the things, have to provide the value, have to solve the problem. And I will not say I will give you some kind of templates, but that's how the stage goes on. First they seen you, but they didn't say anything. But after that they reply to you. Then how you convert that? And after that, seven, the ghosted. That's where the most people quit, because that client replied, you'd give some kind of value or something, or send a loom video, then he ghosted. And you'll be like, you ghosted. It's the part of the life. It's the part of this stage. You have to overcome it, because there's a lot of people gonna ghost you if you are doing, especially the cold emails and cold DMs, because everyone is doing it. A lot of competition. Then in the eighth, you book the call. Okay, prospect replied. I will say it's not the book the call, but he get interested. He get interested. Then he booked the call. When he booked the call, but he didn't show up. Again, your motivation is kind of down. It's not showing up. What the fuck? Or you can just say to client, hey, if you're not free, we can just reschedule the call if you're not showing up. If he's okay, he will do. But for me, I'm still remember there's one guy who say me to show up, didn't show up, and didn't. I do follow up, and he didn't reply me back. I think I become a little rude or a little angry because he didn't show up. So it depends how you be as a guy who's service provider, how you talk with the guys. Talk with the everything is the very good manner. If you get angry, if you get little frustrated, then it might so bad to the client. So make sure you're doing your best. If your client is so negative, don't work with them. Show up. Client showed up in the call, and he might not be interested in the call, and might he get interested but didn't pay because he doesn't have money, or just being objectional. Hey, so much money, I can't pay you. But they pay if you just say it in the right manner, in the framework. If you give the promise, if you get the right offer, then they will pay. Afterwards, you will deliver the results. If your results is good, if you're providing the right value, they will work with you further. So you can see there's a lot of things. Balacha, the final boss, money has method. Yeah, I'm getting hyped. So the boss method is none other than the warm outreach, then the door to door. But why I choose a warm? Because here you will collect the list from your friends, from your family, from your anyone you have in your contact. Go and collect the list of all the people, all the numbers you have. Filter it out. How many people are in any business according to your product or service, whatever you're selling? After you're filtering out, message them casually, not being salesy. Hey, you are doing this business, just being friendly. Then you can pitch afterwards. So the warm is the best in the final boss money heist method. Because personally, my first client was my cousin. She has a music studio. I give her a very beautiful landing page, and I can say it was set. So yeah, it did work. I get some kind of experience. You need to do it because I don't have a lot of people in my contact as a business, mostly the job guys. So if you do have, do the one, bro. You don't need to do. Some people are sitting in the Salt Lake City, you're from India, you're doing message to a Salt Lake City, an old fat man who is 50 years old, and getting the reply rate is almost around 0.001%, according to the cold DM. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm for talking facts. Then the door to door, it's the hardcore sales. But first, you have to win the trust. Whatever I did in my last 5 door to door, first I go and compliment them, talk good about their business. Then I pitch them, hey, I will do the 3 free trials reel for you, which will build trust. If they did like my work, they do like my work, they can go further because I did the job. That's how the things work. And in person events, like go to the marketing events, go to the business events, just go and meet and have a talk because that's where all the opportunity is. Because I know a lot of marketers and writers, and one of my mentor and his mentor close a lot of clients from as in-person events. So where there's a human interaction, where there's a connection, warm, you can say the connections too, not the referrals but the connections. Referrals is different. If you did work with client, you have the first client, then he referred to his friend or business. That's different. But here the warm is, they're not the B2B guys like the business to business or client to client, but your friends, family, and any people you know. Best. That's why it's the final boss moneyest method. So now you did all know all outrage, the stages of outrage, the success rates, but how to actually make money from the outrage. And the thing is, the money is not in the outrage, the money is in the sales and closer. Outreach will get you to the call, in the meetings, and the conversion, but the closing is that's what will get you the money. But how to close? You will have the question right now. So first, understand your customer, understand their problems. Can you solve these problems? Then show your proof, whatever the work you have did in the past. If you don't, just give them the free trial and the free thing. If they do believe in you, if they do like your work and can see, okay, he can solve my problem, then they will go further. Third is the offer. As Alex Hermosi said, make your offer so good, people will feel stupid to say no. You have to make something like this. Fourth, handle objections. It's sales is all about handling objection, the psychology and all stuff. Then you're done, close the client, then you get the money, deliver the results, deliver whatever you promise. Then you will get that happy client and the happy connection, and you don't need to outreach anymore. You don't do need to do outreach anymore, because that client, one client, will give you a lot of referrals, and your outreach got to the end. And if you do make content, you can use the proof of that client, like you do what, then other clients will come easy. But the first is the first stage of outreach and getting to the first client and getting to the second, third client. Once you're done with your third, fourth client and making good results, then you don't need to outreach anymore. But there's a lot of, in the beginner space, people are coming, the 97 or 90% of people are beginners who didn't close their first client at all. So just suggest you close your first client, then everything gonna change. If you get your first money, everything gonna be changed. Just keep doing it. And if you find this video helpful, just feel free to subscribe to this channel for more valuable video like this, to help the business creators, to help the personal brand, and help marketers to do better. If you are one of them, feel free to subscribe. And if you want to know how I made money, like over $2,000 in my last 6 months, not from any client, not doing any outreach or nothing, I'll just suggest you go and watch this video and see you in the next one.